We are entering the era of artificial indulgence. I remember my first time using ChatGPT. My college student sister showed it to me, and I had a question I wanted to ask it. And I asked, it was a complex question, so I was waiting a good like 30 seconds for a minute for the answer to load. But instead, it spat out the answer in 3 seconds. And I remember being blown away at how freaking scary that was. So I started using it. And then, like you, I started to realize it's not just good at synthesizing factual information, it's actually very good at relating to emotional intelligence and human empathy. And I remember sharing my journals and my introspective thoughts with it and being so impressed by its ability to understand. Because at the most fundamental level, as humans, what we desire most is to be understood. And the thing about AI, so ChatGPT has an estimated IQ of about 900. For example, Albert Einstein's IQ was about 140 estimated to be. So at any given moment, you have access to this genius in your pocket that is 4 times smarter than history's one of history's greatest geniuses. So rather than connecting with somebody, a person, to talk about feelings that you're going through, you could just reach into your pocket at any given moment and have access to that genius that's so good at understanding you and telling you exactly what you need to hear. But then I thought about that, and it sounded eerily similar to something else that we have. If you're an intelligent person, you could probably put two and two together. It's the cornography. So think about it. Any man, person in the world has access to sexual content, a million women just at your fingertips. The problem with that, and we obviously know the damages that the corn causes to young men, because at your disposal, at your will, you could simulate this human interaction of intimacy that typically would take the connection of building with someone, with a woman, with the effort it takes to build a real connection. You could just cut through that bridge and just arrive at the destination, which does something terribly, so terribly unhealthy for your brain. But then I realized, how is that any different from me journaling and sharing it with ChatGPT, or talking to it about, a deep emotional issue? Because without building a connection with someone, I could literally just tell it what I'm going through, and it's telling me exactly what I want to hear. And what's interesting, as followers on my channel here know, I'm a proponent of semen retention. I pride myself on, for the past 6 months, and even this is just my current streak. Years before that, I was able to quit adult content and, just sexual cravings. But then I realized that this self-indulgence is just now taking place in a different part of me. It's not taking place in the lower chakras of my body. It's risen up. But now all this is just like a mental masturbation of hearing what you want. It's just like that self-indulgence. And I'm like, how is this any different from viewing adult content, from the immediate gratification you get? And I realize that this is something that at the safest is just unhealthy, but at the worst is very dystopian. It's innocent now because we're at the early stages of AI, but I would not be surprised that if in 10 years from now, therapists are put out of business because no one wants to freaking have to go to therapy when you could literally just pull out your phone and just hear exactly what you need to hear. And I realize an issue that we have today is that a lot of us, myself included, don't always have friends that are great at listening, right? You always have that person that will listen to what you say, but then interrupt you and start talking about themselves. Or maybe even your family, you're maybe a little ashamed to bring your issues to your family. Or even therapy, you have this stigma that you don't want to go to therapy for whatever reason. So the easy substitute to do is to go to your phone and get exactly what you need to hear there. And because of that, if we keep going down this path, we're no longer going to get that practice because we're going to have that safety net of being able to go to it and get it immediately rather than building a human connection and building the muscle of self-awareness to realize, okay, I have an issue. I need to talk about it and I need to handle this myself. Because I remember I used to love journaling, the art of journaling, because anything I was going through, I could put it on paper and then I could analyze and read it after and think, holy shit, I didn't recognize that pattern in my brain. And the only reason I got good at that is because I was doing the work myself. I was building the muscle of self-awareness that AI is now going to rob us from. I don't think it's a bad thing to be introspective at all. I think, if anything, AI has kind of encouraged us to be a little bit more introspective by doing that. But if you go too far down that rabbit hole, dude, it is robbing yourself of humanity and that muscle of self-awareness. So my commitment to myself, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm never using AI again, because the truth is it's brilliant at delegating the minute and tedious details and workflows of life. But when it comes to the most intimate sanctum of my soul and the parts of me that need to do the soul work myself, I can no longer indulge in doing that. So that's my proposal to you, is to look at where in your life you're overusing it. For me, it was definitely this emotional side, and I just realized it was just a mental masturbation of hearing exactly what I wanted to hear and just robbing myself of connection, of talking to a friend, someone close to me about something that's important to me, rather than just having AI relay to me what I want to hear. That's it for today. Like if you took something away from this, subscribe if you'd like to hear more. I'd love to connect with you soon. Take care.